Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, Mark Barnett remains on admin leave from NWC after 16 months, but Samuda says update could be provided soon on his future at the commission. National Water Commission President Mark Barnett remains on administrative leave after more than a year off the job. However, an update on his status could be provided soon to the public, according to Minister without a portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation with responsibility for water and the environment, Matthew Samuda. Mark Barnett continues on administrative leave, but I expect to be able to provide an update soon, Samuda said briefly when asked about the NWC boss status at the post-cabinet press briefing on Wednesday. At a post-cabinet press briefing in April of 2024, the minister similarly stated that an announcement would be provided soon on Barnett's status at the utility company, but no further update has been forthcoming since then. In October of 2023, the NWC board sent Barnett on leave following a scathing 90-page report from the Integrity Commission, which said that Barnett and his wife, Attorney-at-Law Annette Francis Barnett, deliberately breached the building permits that were issued by the Kingston and the St. Andrew Municipal Corporation and the National Planning and Environmental Agency. The breaches related to a multi-story development that was undertaken by the Barnetts at 11 Charlie Mount Drive, St. Andrew. Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn, in January of 2024, issued a ruling that the husband and wife duo would not face criminal charges because the initiation of prosecution regarding breaches of the environmental permit under the National Resources Conservation Authority Act, which the allegations support, was time-sensitive. The prosecution of such offenses has to be brought within 12 months of the breach being identified. Kevin Kerr was appointed as acting NWC president when Barnett went on administrative leave. Barnett has spent many years at the NWC, rising through the ranks until he was appointed president in August 2015. Senior cop issues sex-tape warning. Patrick Linton, head of the Cybercrimes Division at the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency, is warning Jamaicans to think twice before engaging in making raunchy videos. This following a resurfaced TikTok trend that encourages users to post sexually explicit videos to prove they're not single. Speaking on the viral Are You Single challenge, where participants share intimate videos including performing oral sex, Linton said that if someone publishes the video without the creator's consent, it is a breach of an applicable legislation, an offense under the Cybercrimes Act, and is obscene publication if they need to have redress. But Linton explained that even with the laws in place, pursuing justice can be difficult, especially when videos don't clearly show the person's face. Based on what I've seen, you cannot clearly see the face of the person. If you don't know them personally, you couldn't look at the video and identify them, he said. And with this whole AI-generated content thing, somebody can just say, I know you that, a AI me use. Even when individuals are identifiable by tattoos or birthmarks, victims still face major obstacles in getting redress. Linton pointed out that Jamaica lacks the legal reach to compel social media platforms to cooperate in investigations. Let's keep it real, we can't in Jamaica and subpoena TikTok for nothing. Them no business with we are not a big country like that, he said. So while it's an offense, getting information from these platforms is not easy. We have to do what we call mutual legal assistance, and that's a tedious process. Attorney Hugh Wildman confirmed that Jamaican law does not offer protection for victims of non-consensual distribution of explicit content. Victims can rely on the right to privacy under the Constitution, Wildman explained. Anyone offended by the publication of intimate videos can seek relief, including injunction relief, against the person who posted it if they can find them. Senior Superintendent of Police Dennis Brooks, Senior Communications Strategist at the JCF, said he was not familiar with the Are You Single challenge and was unclear on how it would be addressed legally. I'm not familiar with the trend and I don't know that it's a constitutional matter. It might be a cybercrimes matter, but I'd have to consult the law, Brooks said. Pressed on how the JCF would handle cases of non-consensual distribution of intimate content, Brooks said he would need to consult experts before giving a response. Linton stated that, although we can't provide a quick redress, he reiterated that persons who feel that people post their content without their permission should report it. I can only tell people to protect themselves. The reality is, it's only going to get worse. Everybody pushing content nowadays. That's the age we live in. This next election is not going to be an easy election, says Golding, urges comrades to unite and to be fully committed to winning the polls. Leader of the opposition People's National Party, Mark Golding, has acknowledged that the upcoming general election campaign will not be easy for the political organization, as the governing Jamaica Labour Party is a formidable opponent. He emphasized the need for unity and the full commitment from the PNP workers and the supporters if they are to win the polls that are due by September of this year. This next election is not going to be an easy election, declared Golding at a PNP party meeting in central Westmoreland on Wednesday night. Not because you see the vibes on the road and the number of supporters and the passion for the People's National Party here in central Westmoreland, don't take it simple. We're up against a formidable opponent, so it's gonna require full commitment, he asserted. The PNP's Dwayne Vaz is expected to face the governing JLP's George Wright in central Westmoreland when the elections are called. Both faced off against each other in the last general elections, with Wright winning in what was considered a PNP bastion. However, Golding is predicting that the PNP will take all three constituencies in Westmoreland in the upcoming polls. We're marching on the road to progress, and we're marching on the road to victory, he told the jubilant comrades. He reiterated the importance of unity among party members. Comrades, unity is strength, and I'll say to each and everyone, let us keep the fire burning in one accord and pull together so we can achieve our goals. And our goals must be to save Jamaica, to take back power in this country for the people so that the people can benefit and we can move the country forward, Golding stated. Condemn reckless drivers. Tufton urges more Jamaicans to denounce motorists putting health sector under pressure. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is encouraging louder condemnation of reckless drivers who are putting other road users at risk. We don't hear enough people who argue for that, arguing for why we don't slow down on the roads, why we don't stop intoxicating ourselves and then driving or overtaking a line of traffic against the rules. That argument needs to be a lot louder because, and I put it to you in a very crude way, we will never be able to afford enough ambulances for a society that conducts its affairs in a way that does not regard the discipline that is required to minimize these kinds of catastrophes, Tufton said last Thursday during a function at the Falmouth Public General Hospital in Trelawney. The function was the official presentation of an ambulance to the hospital from the government of Japan, bringing the fleet to 4. You can't build enough hospitals. You can't put in enough hospital beds or surgeons. We are too reckless as a people when it comes to how we conduct ourselves on the road, Tufton said. People often complain, and I appreciate the sensitivity. The reality of the high trauma society we live in. Why is it that we don't have more ambulances? Why we don't have more to respond to the challenges of trauma on the roads? It is a reasonable concern to express, and we must always try to do better at recognizing the context and the circumstances, added Tufton. Highlighting the pressure placed on the hospital from frequent crashes on the section of Highway 2000 that runs through the parish, Tufton noted that on average, 15 to 20 motor vehicle crash victims are taken to the hospital's accident and emergency department weekly. We need to appreciate the impact it has on the public health services, the extent to which it ties up the doctors and the nurses in the first instance to stabilize the people so they don't bleed to death, overcome the trauma and the pain that they are suffering from, and then, of course, to administer curative measures, oftentimes including operating theaters in patient care. but of course it starts with moving them from the scene, said Tufton. This area is particularly dangerous, and I say to all of us, we need to be more cautious as we approach the efforts to control and manage the traumas, and hopefully just those that we can't avoid, not those that we can, added the health minister. Last Friday, in its daily crash report, the Island Traffic Authority stated that as at February 28, 2025, Jamaica recorded 60 road deaths from 55 fatal collisions, a 15% decrease compared to the corresponding period last year. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.